And always remember, geek out. Welcome to another episode of I'll Geek. Today we have some cool Pokemon figures to show off. And I do have Lucario.
And I have the Venusaur Razor Leaf combat toy from Hasbro.
And my Lucario, it is a Funko Pop. But before we dive into these cool figures, please remember to subscribe, give us a thumbs up on our video, and also hit the notification bell so you do not miss another episode. So today we do have here next to Lucario an unopened box of Pokemon Shining Pearl. This is Gen 4. It is where Lucario debuted on Pokemon Pearl and Pokemon Diamond.
Oh yeah, classic games. Generation 4, as many Pokemon fans introduced many things such as the physical special split and very long save data.
That's correct. It did take a long time to save. It was just running that RAM on the DS.
It was pushing the DS's limits, and Pokemon definitely peaked in the DS era.
But yes, I do love my fighting steel type Pokemon. I love steel types. One of my other favorite Pokemon is Scizor that debuted in Johto in the Gen 2. Just an awesome red bug type steel Pokemon that does die with a little flamethrower or ember, but I still love that Pokemon. That Pokemon is just awesome. It's always on my party if he's available in that generation, obviously.
Oh, yeah. And then Venusaur here is my favorite Pokemon of all time. Grass and Poison, as many as you know. One of the starters from Kanto, the best Kanto starter, and the best starter in general. Love me Venusaur. He's in my party at least 90% of the time, just like Scizor. If it's available in the game, it's in my team.
It is an awesome. I usually used to start with Squirtle or Charizard. I hardly ever got to Bulbasaur. But since my cousin and you started using Bulbasaur, Venusaur, he really did make his way into my team in some other generations.
Oh yeah, anytime we play Kanto, as you guys can see, the yellow cartridge next to Venusaur, I'll never pick any other starter Pokemon. It's always Bulbasaur. I'll maybe look at Squirtle for like a hot second and go back clicking on Bulbasaur. And I don't talk about that other trash starter that's next to them.
Not the fire breathing lizard.
I'll never touch that.
Even though it is, like, I would say, probably the second best popular or most popular Pokemon, or might be the most popular.
Pikachu may still be the most popular. I honestly think I could see Charizard passing it one day.
I think if he's not already past him, I think he's pretty close to.
I mean, his cards are worth $1,000, so
yeah.
No Pikachu cards
or $1 million.
Yeah. If I get a Charizard card, I'll trade it for some Twinkies.
That sounds familiar.
Very familiar.
But yes, I do need to get this open copy of Shining Pearl graded and be placed on acrylic or polycarbonate, so that maybe 10 years from now I do sell it or just keep saving it until it appreciates in value. A lot of Pokemon games do appreciate in values, or they maintain their values. Oh, yeah. So it's really cool how that happens. Very easy for them to keep selling and remaking their video games and their Pokemons. I mean, it's really easy, I think, for them to keep remaking them. Now, they did this specific one right here was not made by Game Freak. This game, which was a different take on the art style that they have. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Let's Go. But I actually like the art on this Shining Pearl.
The art style is very nice. I like the art style. My only critique with the Gen 4 remix is just it's a little too faithful remix to me. Like it looks a lot better than the DS version. But I kind of want to add like more context that they could have easily added. Let's say since that came out in Generation 8, they could add Dynamaxing to that game or something. Add some features from other games.
Yeah, they add. They didn't have either the Mega Evolution either.
Nope, it was 100% faithful remake.
The underground was nice though. That you could catch every Pokemon that had come out.
Yeah, it was cool seeing like a underground with like different biomes and different Pokemon. You could actually see the Pokemon roaming underground in the underground area. They didn't spawn out in grass. They just walk around like the Let's Go games and recent Pokemon games. It was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, it was nice. It was refreshing. The new art, I liked it. Yes, it was a really like a pretty much a copy, but with better graphics. I liked the effects that they had on the snow mountains.
Oh, yeah, nice.
The colors were really breathtaking. It reminded me a little bit. Before this game came out, there was a similar game with similar art style. I wonder if the same company did it, but it was a Zelda game. It was Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it does give me the Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
vibes.
Link's Awakening vibes, and it was great. I love that game too. I played it, and I had lots of fun trying to beat it. But Lucario here, nothing's too special about a Funko Pop. You know, Funko Pop just stays at just like how big it is, the head, the huge head he has. It's really cool, mean looking, bad looking Lucario. He does Mega Evolve, which is really cool. He does have the Aura Sphere, that is a really fun and well known attack. He does learn Earthquake, Ice Punch. Those are the moves that I have. Swords Dance, Earthquake, Ice Punch, or a Sphere. Is what he usually has in my team when I do play him. He's weak also with fire. He has a lot of weakness other than just fire, obviously. And he hits hard, but how do you call your Shulk? He is
glass
a
cannon.
glass cannon.
Yeah.
That's correct.
It's hard, moves fast, but if you look at it the wrong way, it goes down.
Yeah, he goes down. Yeah. So, just like Scizor, they do have their Swords Dance. They do learn a lot of that. And depending on their nature, they might go first, or their attacks, like Bullet Punch, would go first, or, and Jolly is the nature.
Jolly is the one that raises its speed and lowers special.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it. My team for this generation, especially, well, actually not my generation, but playing this, I did have Pokemon Shining Diamond. Is it Shining Diamond? Or Shining
Brilliant Diamond.
Brilliant Diamond. That's correct. Brilliant Diamond. I did have a copy of that I did open, and I did do the playthrough. My Pokemons were Milotic. I did have my Electivire. I love Electivire. I did have my Scizor there because I could catch it. And that makes 3. Then I did have my Gliscor, which I was very surprised about. Gliscor, really good Pokemon. One of my cousins, when we used to battle, he did have Gliscor. I like how good defensive Pokemon is. Very bulky Pokemon. A lot of people love Garchomp. I do not play with him just because he's just too OP.
Oh yeah, every Sinnoh team has Garchomp. It's like the most uncreative thing people could do is just have Garchomp. Yeah, it is probably one of the best Pokemon out there, but come on, Spice out here. Yeah. We don't need Garchomp.
A little bit different. So I never played with Gliscor. I did get him. I love Gliscor. Now he's on my team like every single day. And then I did have a Glaceon. I never trained a Glaceon, but I did.
How did it go?
Yeah, it's good. It has really good attack. I like not sheer called. What is the freezing? Oh,
Scald. Yeah, but it burns.
It burns. Yeah, I like that move. And what's the move that is super effective with ice and water? Freeze dry. Yeah, I love that.
It's a good move. I love freeze dry. Glaceon, I like Glaceon. My only issue was it was just too slow for me.
Yeah, he is too slow, but it was nice to have him and do that. Yeah. Well, the strategy is, I did train that one specifically for my cousin. He loves Gyarados.
I see what
so yeah, and Gyarados is a pretty badass Pokemon. He knows how to use them. He knows how to train them, and level them up, and very tactful or strategic attack moveset that he gives him. So I had him to just freeze dry, just to kill him and get him
Makes
out of
sense.
there.
I made a Pokemon just for you the other when we used to play Scarlet and Violet, my Quagsire.
Yeah, that Quagsire with the blank face, ignoring all my sword dances or all my defensive moves. And then the last one, believe it or not, it was Venusaur. I did have a Venusaur in my party, which he's awesome. He learns Earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
He learns Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb was a good attack. And I would either pair him with Synthesis or Mega Drain. But yeah, that's an awesome Pokemon.
Yeah, and as for my Brilliant Diamond team, I believe I haven't played it in a while recently. I didn't check before coming, but I believe it was a Torterra. I know I had a Gastrodon. I always have Gastrodon and Sinnoh. I believe probably had Staraptor. I know I like using Rampardos. It's not a good Pokemon competitively, but it's a fun Pokemon to play through. I believe I played around with Roserade every now and then.
You did have a Roserade because I remember fighting you.
Oh yeah, I had a Roserade. Sinnoh has such a wide variety of random Pokemon you could try out. It's fun. So I probably did pick Infernape, not thinking like if I had a Roserade, I wouldn't have 2 Rats Pokemon.
Yeah, I think you did pick Infernape.
Yeah, so yeah, I can't remember my Sinnoh team, but my Sinnoh teams are typically just Infernape or Torterra, Staraptor, Gastrodon, Rampardos, and then I had a Quagsire ones. I spice up with random, but Sinnoh's one of the ones that I could like experiment every now and then. You got a good variety of Pokemon in that region.
Yeah, you do. I love Staraptor. I think
Oh,
that Pokemon is one of the best bird Pokemons out there.
I think it is.
I think after him, no other.
No, I can't.
No other. I mean, Talonflame comes close,
Yeah.
but I still take Staraptor over Talonflame.
Staraptor's like an S tier Pokemon. Talonflame's like a B
Mhm.
tier. Like it's not bad, it's good, but after that is blank. It's all the other bird Pokemon, starter bird Pokemon aren't even that good.
Yeah.
I don't even touch like Pidgeot. I don't touch that.
I don't touch it no more. It used to be a go-to
Yeah.
on Johto and on or Kanto.
Oh, yeah, Johto and Kanto, I use it all the time. Now I don't even look at Pidgeot.
Yeah.
And Swallow, I don't even get to start with Swallow. Swallow just sucks. At least Staraptor carried the bird Pokemon.
Yeah, Staraptor is awesome. That's Reckless with Brave Bird and Sharpbeak. That's it.
Yeah, just get that rock, and then don't forget Double Edge too.
Yeah.
Oof.
Just badass Pokemon. But yeah, we just wanted to show you guys our cool Funko Pops and cool figures that we have of Pokemon. Talk a little bit about our experience playing the video games. I did play Scarlet. I did have the Scarlet version, and you played Violet.
Yep, I had the Violet version.
I mopped the floor with my cousin on that one. He was very thrown off.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to quit every single time, and he wanted to retire from playing Pokemon competitively because the new
gimmick,
terrestrialization. You could change their type, so it just threw another curveball to everybody. So I did take his Gyarados and gave him a ground Terra type, and since he's flying, he can't get hit with Earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
So he is just, it was very confusing for him. So I did take his Gyarados and mopped the floor with him, and he just wanted to quit.
Give him a taste of his own medicine, I see.
Give him some things. I hated his Gyarados playing Shining Pearl. I just hated it. He would do Dragon Dance, and just beef up his Gyarados and then hit me with Waterfall and just destroy my team completely. But yeah, I flipped it on him on this Scarlet and Violet game. I do have an unopened game also for the Violet one, since I would say it's the most popular one that a lot of the people were actually want to buy Violet more than Scarlet. I went with Scarlet just because I loved Armarouge when I saw him. I was like, I gotta get that psychic fire type Pokemon. Looks like Bomberman.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I like that. So he was always on my team. For the Scarlet and Violet team, I had Goldengo. I actually had a lot of ghost types.
You did. You had a very ghostly team. That's
I was
cool.
very surprised. Yeah, I was very surprised. So I had Goldengo, which is a ghost type. I had what was his name? I just said it. Armarouge.
Yep.
I had Armarouge. It looks just like Bomberman. I did have another ghost, but this one was fighting ghosts. Annihilape, just bad.
Annihilape was the Pokemon I feared the most on your team.
Yeah, it was just terribly good on that game. And then I did not have a starter. I threw away that ugly looking little duckling after he evolved to the final evolution.
Yeah, Quackle.
Yeah.
He was so disappointed seeing it.
So disappointing. I don't know what's happening with Pokemon, but maybe now with the competition that Palworld is now, and maybe they'll beef them up and actually do something cool with Pokemon.
I mean, as a longtime Pokemon fan, I actually kind of want to play Palworld. I know that's controversial, how you got to pick sides. You're a Pokemon, you got to stick with Pokemon. No, I can't. I do want Pokemon to learn some lessons from Palworld. Competition is healthy.
Yeah,
so maybe
absolutely.
If they could see, I don't want, first off, before somebody said, I don't want to see Pikachu with a gun. You think that's what I'm going with?
I would like to see this guy with twin blades. That would be cool. That would be cool.
But the point I'm trying to get is Pokemon needs to like grow up a little bit and like do the open world idea. Let us pet with the Pokemon. Do things like what Palworld is doing, but actually, like I said, I don't want to see Pikachu with a gun. But like learn the lessons from their competition. Palworld will probably disappear one day. Pokemon, they'll still be here. It's a 90 billion company.
Yeah, it's probably Palworld will be a one and done maybe. Let's see if this video matures well, right?
Right. Palworld 2 probably got announced today. But like, I just want Pokemon to learn that from their current competition, open world. Let us interact with the Pokemon more, like it, and then make it I don't care much for graphics, but Pokemon graphics right now are kind of like outdated, like very outdated.
Yeah, I mean, like I did say that it was refreshing seeing some different graphics here on here. But on the main games, not on a remake, on the main games is where they're, usually missing.
Yeah.
But funny enough, you were saying that you might want to see going back to 2D sprites.
Yes, I do. I think Pokemon thrives better in 2D. And I think seeing them in like their dynamic, high def 2D sprite, that'd be cool. Like imagine like let's say Koraidon in a 2D sprite. Like how gorgeous will look with seeing his feathers, his horns, and the wheel. Like something about the 2D sprites, especially like Generation 5 and 4, have some of the best sprite work ever. Like just imagine what modern Pokemon look like in that art style.
Yeah, and then when you mentioned that, it reminded me of there's games out there that actual like fan made games.
Oh yeah,
that they actually create these sprites of the newer Pokemons, and they look amazing.
Yeah, and I was like, that's such an easy money making thing for Pokemon. I would put like make it like a quote unquote downgrade of Scarlet and Violet, make it like 2D. I'm pretty sure, but I think it'll do better. A lot of the glitches might be gone. Like, and people be like, "Oh, it's just 2D Pokemon," and like, 2D Pokemon does a little bit better than 3D.
Yeah, I think that they as I can see in the last since they introduced the what was the when they got really big
with the
Dynamax. Yeah, when that was the first time that they introduced like raid battles.
Yeah, the raid battles are cool.
Yeah, and they did a good job on making it hard, a little bit harder on these ones, on Paldea, but they're still missing something.
Yeah,
and what I think it is not moving.
Yeah, they're so lifeless.
Yeah,
like I hate staring at a Pokemon in the battle. They're just standing there stiff. That's why I kind of like Generation 5 sprites, for example. They're moving mid combat. I kind of want to see the Pokemon feel alive, not like they're just standing still. Just like Lucario, for example, he just stands still with his hands down, kind of staring at you aggressively, or he's probably thinking about dinner. Because I really don't know what these Pokemon are thinking or acting. They're just stiff, and I don't like the 3D models at all.
Yeah, and I think that's where they failed. They tried to introduce some cool fact like raids, because that's what people are doing now. It's just raid combats or PvPs, and I think it's maybe if they just move a little bit out of the RPG, the turn based and not moving, or sorry, moving more than not moving, I think that would change it up a little bit. And also, if they have Let's Go on your phone and you can catch every Pokemon, don't limit people.
Yeah. Imagine a Pokemon game. I know this is a topic everybody says, but a Pokemon game with every Pokemon, just release them in packs. Like, for example, you could start off in Kanto, and then a month later, there'll be a Johto pack where it has like all the Johto Pokemon. They're catchable, not gift. I don't want them all to just appear on my PC. I want to actually catch the Pokemon.
I actually want them to bring back when, in Yellow, when you used to throw the ball and miss.
That'll be interesting.
I actually kind of want that back. Just make it a little bit challenging.
I would like to miss, but
don't just give me the legendary.
Oh, yeah. If they do, because I'm tired of those free legendaries. Because you get a cool legendary and they're like, oh, hey, go after the PC, there it is. I think if they're gonna bring that missing mechanic, if they did, I kind of want to reuse the bottom one, like I miss, and then the boss like gone forever. At least like if it misses, at least it's like roll back to you or something, or like you could collect it after the battle, because you spend money on these Ultra Balls and they miss and back then in Yellow, and now they're gone, straight gone. You're never gonna see it back.
Yeah. But I mean, it just makes it a little bit more challenging. Yeah. That's what I kind of miss more. Like we talk about Gen 5 being like the last truly like tough.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's truly the last Pokemon game that was actually relatively a challenge. Now these days, like for example, Sword and Shield, when I was fighting one of the gym leaders, I was texting the whole time, just pressing A, because he's a little too easy. Like, all right, beat the first two Pokemon, he's going to Dynamax the third, easy. Okay, tap A, then press A, then press R, and then there, I already won.
Mm-hmm. It's just like Paldea's champion was like, what the hell was that? Her last Pokemon.
Yeah, you played it, we all played it. Edith's team sucks. Why would she have a Glamora in the end? Glamora's a Pokemon you put in the front just to set up spikes and toxic.
To be strategize. And that was just, they set up Pokemon. But maybe, I don't know, maybe on these new DLCs, she has different ones.
She did, actually, they did. The DLC, they updated her team.
Okay.
And then, funny enough, all they did...
I haven't played the DLC.
I haven't touched it either, but I was looking at it. All they did was just put Glamora up front and put King Gambit in the end. It's actually a challenging battle now.
Okay. That's what we asked for, Pokemon. Yeah. But hit me with String Shot and make me miss over and over again my turn.
It is an awful battle. You get hit by a Pokemon with Wrap, it's just like you lost your turn. You can't do it. And same thing with Fire Spin back then too.
Yeah, but
I hated that. I used to turn off the 64. Like I was like, all right, I already lost the fight.
The old days of Pokemon Stadium 1. Oof. Yeah, but let me see. Give me if you have to make a team, would you make a poison team or a grass team with your Venusaur? So if I tell you, give me 6, either, that would go with this one of the types of Venusaur, which one would you go? Would you go straight grass, straight poison?
No, it has to be pure grass or just...
No, it could be also grass and poison.
Yeah, all right.
So I know you like Roserade. Roserade is grass and poison also.
I don't know. That's tough. If I have to pick, I will probably end up picking just a poison team.
Okay.
I'll pick a poison. I'm trying to go through my head and see what other poison Pokemon could do.
Because there's poison fire now.
Yeah.
There's poison flying.
Yeah, the poison has a lot.
Poison fighting.
Oh yeah, poison ground. Poison has like even poison psychic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like poison has options, more offensive. Grass, I love grass, but like when I'm trying to look back, what are the other options? There's some good ones, but I think if I had to pick, it'll be a poison team.
All right, so what would you be your 6?
6.
Putting you in the spot here.
All right, so Venusaur's obviously there. Wait, let's see. Nidoqueen. I'll put Nidoqueen. Let's see.
Nidoqueen is actually, she's pretty strong.
Yeah.
She's pretty good. She's a pretty good Pokemon. I never really used her a lot, but she's a little tank.
Nidoqueen carried off my Johto team all the time. Let's see. I'd say Salazzle for fire and poison.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The poison Pokemon. I'm trying to go through all the poison Pokemon in my head right now. I'll pick like Galarian Weezing. That's an interesting choice. Let's see.
I never thought you would have picked Galarian Weezing.
Yeah, I wanted to spice it up. I was starting to think, trying to go through all the poison types.
I've always wanted to do like a one type thing, or party, but never got.
It's hard because you got to balance the team out. See, so
you have 3 so far.
Yep. Let's see. No, I have 4. The Salazzle, Venusaur, Nidoqueen,
that's right.
Galarian, Weezing. Let's see. I will also pick, just for the fun of it, Garbodor, the walking trash bag. Let's see. And then what will be the number 6? I will probably pick. Trying to think, what was a recent poison Pokemon?
I forgot the name of, but I love this Pokemon. He's Poison Dragon.
I know who you're talking about.
He's one of the
add him in that team because I know who you're talking about too.
He is badass.
He's good. I never used him until I saw you using him. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the poison team's a little wonky, but I think it'll work out.
Yeah, it's interesting, the Weezing and the walking trash bag.
Well, I picked the walking trash bag on purpose just to make Gen 1ers cry.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't know. I would go with Steel. Obviously, I just love Steel type. But definitely will have my Scizor there. I will have Lucario. I would have Metagross. Actually, I never thought I would put this guy here, but since I seen you play with him, he's pretty badass. I would add also Skarmory in there.
Skarmory is a beast.
Skarmory is just crazy good. I always wanted to try a Magnezone.
I used one before. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. So I would probably put Magnezone there. So, and then I would select a Water Steel, which I would do. What's his name? Empoleon.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too fun of him, but that would give me some water.
Oh yeah.
Some water.
That would put you some water coverage.
Water coverage. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. So we're gonna be your weak to fire, so you have the option to like. With Empoleon and teach us some water moves. Smart idea.
Yeah.
Like it. And the reason why I picked Salazzle is because Salazzle's one has the ability corrosion and that can actually poison steel types. So I had a feeling you were going to pick steel. So I was like, because poison fire, perfect corrosion to melt that steel type.
Yeah, that attack or that ability sucks for steel types.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Absolutely. Especially that damn Quagsire. Again, I said the DAM. I'm gonna look and see if I can.
You could say it. We said some. I think we said some worse stuff on these shows before.
But that would be my steel type team. There's maybe a few things that might change, but I think that's really what I would roll with. I usually sometimes I would just sit down and say I'm not gonna repeat a color. Yeah. Have to, just to make it harder for them because that's what we find ourselves doing, trying to make these Pokemon games a little bit harder on us. Oh, yeah. Just try to select one type.
Oh yeah, change some rules.
Yeah, change some rules around.
Because like for example, my quote unquote making things harder is when I replay a game, I only limit myself with 3 Pokemon. I have to use the starter. I have to use one Pokemon I like and one I never use. Mm-hmm. That's how I played it, and then. Those are the only 3 I use for the rest of the game. Even if it's harder or easier, depending on which Pokemon I use. For example, in my white playthrough years ago, I was just Superior, Chandelure, and I can't remember the third Pokemon. It was a Pokemon I just never used. Hardest playthrough of my life. Just 3 Pokemon I couldn't even. The Elite Four was almost impossible. I had to like grind out just to make it a little better. It was tough.
Yeah, I mean, but then Gen 5 was, and the reason why that made it harder is because a lot of them have high level
They
Pokemon.
did.
So, in the league, there were like 65,
Yeah.
70.
And they actually had like well-rounded teams.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is the final boss, where he had a high dragon with frustration, and that hit real hard, and I liked it.
Yeah, I love Zekrom and Reshiram.
Yeah, same. I can't wait to see them.
They were really, really cool. So, what is one type that they have not come out with? I know my type that they haven't come up with that actually they just did, and it was the lamest Pokemon they could give that typing to. Actually,
yeah, your electric fighting.
My electric fighting.
Yep.
They gave it to a Pikachu.
Yeah,
a new version of Pikachu.
Yeah, Palworld.
Yeah, should have just called it Palworld. Yeah, I wanted to have a electric fighting type, with really cool attack. I don't know, like give it like thunder kick or high jump thunder kick or lightning kick.
Sounds
something cool like that. And I think the Galarian
Zapdos
have something like
that. Yeah, it has thunderous kick, and I was.
Oh yeah, is he fighting? No, he's fighting flying.
He's flying. That's what I was gonna say. They didn't make electric fighting.
Yeah, they should.
What they could have done for like the Galarian birds is just kept their primary typing and changed it. Like for example, Zapdos could have been electric fighting, Moltres fire, dark, Articuno ice, psychic. That would have been cool. They could have been different. Just being attacking on flying just because you can. Because Pokemon like attacking on flying to hurt Pokemon.
Yeah. So I mean that was my type. What about your type?
My type, even though it technically already happened, but I would love to see a Dragon Fairy. It happened. Mega Arteria was Dragon Fairy, but we haven't seen Mega Evolutions in a while. So I was thinking, the way I picture it was imagine like a legendary Pokemon, but it's actually like this tiny little dragon, like this cutesy looking dragon that's actually stronger than like Rayquaza.
Like a little size Mew?
Yeah, like some
Dragon Fairy?
Yeah, it's still the most unintimidating looking Pokemon, but it's like dealing like heavy hitting moves.
Yeah, that was a cool a Mega Evolution for Altaria.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Honestly. And then that Fairy Steel that you like.
Yeah, Mawile. Oh yeah, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time.
Yeah, that is cool. I knew you were gonna like
Tickaton.
Tickaton, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It became my second favorite Pokemon of all time. It made Violet more enjoyable because that carried my team. I don't even Skeledirge got benched real quick.
Yeah, that was so disappointing. I was actually pretty excited about the little duckling, like maybe turning into something cool, but no, it's terrible. And but that's what we wanted to talk a little bit about. Talk to you or tell you guys about our Pokemon playthroughs. Maybe what we would like to have as a team of 6 of the same type. I would select Steel. I think the next I would choose would probably be Ground. Ground would be an exciting, cool typing to do a 6 of. And my newly discovered love for ghost types with Paldea and Paldea is for Scarlet and Violet. I used a lot of ghost types.
Yeah, you also had Celuridge.
Yeah, Celuridge, fire, ghost.
Yeah, you really had a ghost team.
I did. Did have a big ghost team. But they were really cool. I like how they looked. I like their attacks. Armarouge and Celuridge were the same first stage Pokemon, and then they evolve with different items. But I like how one of them hits hard and it's fast, and the other one is more defensive. And he hits hard.
His special attack was hard.
Yeah, special attack. But that's right. Special and physical.
Yep, that's pretty much what it's there. And then, all right. So since you dropped me with a random question, what would be your top 10 favorite Pokemon right now?
Top 10 favorite. Top 10.
Top 10.
Oh man! All right, so I would definitely go with my boy Cesaurus, number 1, just because. Okay, he dies with fire, but that's it. Yeah. Give me anything else. I used to bring that guy up with your Venusaur, pop him up with a whole bunch of sword dance, and you were just lucky that you had that fire chicken of Blaziken with speed up.
Oh yeah, I was ready for you for that reason alone.
Yeah, I would go with him. I would go with Gliscor, really, really great Pokemon. I would go with Electivire. I would go with Lucario. Metagross is up there. I always liked him. Let's see. I'll go with Armarouge. I'll go Goldengo. Oh man, Soledge is just so good too. And then I'll pick some water types. I don't even believe I named a starter there.
No, I don't think so. Actually.
And I just been more of just playing with regular
you haven't
Pokemon.
used starters much recently.
I haven't really used it. But if I go with starters, I also like the last two as starters just because I believe some of them are pretty good. I like Sceptile.
Mhm.
Sceptile is really cool. I always pick him. And it's probably the only, well, next to Torterra, but Torterra, I stopped picking it. But
Yeah.
I'd say Sceptile. And then I would go with a fire type. I would go with Infernape.
Nice.
Yeah, Infernape.
All right. And then my top 10, Venusaur's number 1, then Tika-Ton's number 2. And then number 3 would be Feraligatr, and then number 4 Mewtwo. Then I would put Latios and Latias as 5 and 6. Lugia afterwards, Zekrom, Espeon, and Mawile. Mawile, in my opinion, is the cutest Pokemon in the world. Come at me. Espeon is my favorite evolution. Can't go wrong with evolutions. Zekrom represents my favorite Pokemon generation of all time. I just love Zekrom.
Zekrom is cool.
Lugia is a cool design, also represented by second favorite generation.
Lugia is the type of Pokemon that just you see it's so nostalgic.
Yeah,
it just
it
takes you back to your childhood. It's just every single time I see Lugia, I see the 3 birds, the 3 orbs that that Pokemon movie 2000.
Pokemon 2000, yeah.
Yeah, it just takes me back, man.
Latios and Latias, I love the brother-sister dynamic. When I think of them, I think of me and my sister. As for Mewtwo, Mewtwo's Mewtwo. I don't feel like I don't have to describe Mewtwo as much. He's probably one of the most popular Pokemon out there.
Yeah, I'm surprised you have a lot of legendaries in that list.
Oh yeah, I have. It doesn't mean I'll use them in battle.
You never use them.
No, I never use legendaries. Feraligatr is my second favorite starter. Good all Pokemon. It's typically my go-to water Pokemon when I have a team.
Yeah.
The Tika-Ton is my most recent beloved Pokemon. A lot of you guys know I liked it because of a certain hedgehog, but once I saw that, I'm glad I was spoiled free from Scarlet and Violet because I did not look up any of those Scarlet Violet.
That is one thing I will do for the next the next game that comes out.
Yeah.
Not look at it. Actually, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, because once you show me like, oh, you're gonna like this Pokemon, and I saw it, I fell in love with it instantly. Like it became my main Pokemon on my team. It's the reason why I think Violet is a B plus because without Tika-Tongue, it's probably like a C minus. And then my Venusaur has been my truest Pokemon since day one. I've always been in my team, never failed me. Many moves. I've bred a Venusaur just to counter Charizards before. I taught it like give it hidden power, rocks. That was just cool. Now these days, Venusaur actually learn like cool moves like Earth Power. Venusaur is not completely defenseless against fire Pokemon now these days. It has its capabilities. And Mega Venusaur, I miss it. I need it to come back game 3.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably the best gimmick that they come up with was Mega Evolution.
Oh yeah, it was easily because it powered up Pokemon like, for example, my Mawile. Mawile was under garbage by itself. I use it in my Ruby playthrough just for fun. I like it, but by itself it sucked. But once it could Mega Evolve and it became a Dragon Killer, it was amazing. Always was in my team.
Just Pokemon overall, it's always fun to sit down and talk. Man, you know what? If I do my steel type again, I forgot about my boy Goldengo.
Yeah, Goldengo, the cheese stick.
Yeah, the cheese stick. That guy, it's so worth collecting all those coins just to evolve him. It was 1,000 coins, 999 to evolve him. He's actually really good. I think I would probably replace Magnezone and just put him in there.
Yeah, I mean, Goldengo was sweeping teams anyway, so you might as well.
Yeah.
And he's the 1,000th Pokemon, so that's
1,000 Pokemon. Yeah. So yeah, man, I love steel types. I love the ground types too. And yeah, I'm surprised in that top 10. I actually caught myself and I tried to name the last 2 as starters because there's so many good ones out there nowadays that you just don't really need to use starters. Yeah,
and then just because we're just naming lists and stuff, out of my favorite types is Fairy, Grass, and Dragon. Those are my 3 favorite types.
Fairy, Grass, and Dragon.
Yeah, I need at least one Pokemon of that type in my team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say my third type would be Dragon. So if we Steel, Ground, and Dragon, and with the whole Ghost thing now, maybe.
You're getting that ghost. You're gonna become a Ghost Gym leader.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm gonna become a Ghost Gym leader. Although Armarouge is not really a ghost type, I actually liked Armarouge a little bit better than Saluledge, even though Saluledge was faster. And it would probably be Armarouge just because he's ghost and he would go first. But yeah, I like Armarouge a lot too. Palkia had some really cool Pokemon. It's just, some of the playthrough was pretty easy. And
Palkia has some great Pokemon. Generation 9 wasn't too bad. I mean, it's just the only issue I have with Generation 9. It just feels dated, like outdated. Like graphically, yeah, like I said, graphics aren't the most important thing, but it just feels kind of dated and also has some voice acting to Pokemon. I'm pretty sure now these days we can have some, like when they have these quote unquote touching scenes, it doesn't feel like I don't feel no emotion just reading this cutscene. Just at the time, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm sorry, Team Star, I really don't care what you have to say. Just keep pressing A. But if they had voice acting, maybe I would have listened to it more.
Yeah, probably. But there's a lot of Nintendo games that are like that, that are voiceless. And actually, speaking of Team Star, I didn't want to make this a Paldea Scarlet video, but those were kind of the boss fights where some of them were a little bit tough.
They can be,
a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I just didn't really care for Team Star.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't know what they want me to feel about them. It's like, oh, well, that sucks.
I wonder if there might be some spots that I haven't explored in Paldea. It was pretty cool. The caves, were pretty cool. There were some that you would go in and come out the other end, and it was pretty like a pretty good maze down there. But yeah, overall, I mean, it was okay. I mean, I know you don't like it as much. I enjoyed the new Pokemons that they had. So that's my thought on that.
I think with Scarlet and Violet, if it was just was delayed 1 month, just one more month, I think it would have been amazing. Because I feel like it's a glitchy game, but there's a heart in there somewhere. If it was just baked and left in the oven for 1 more month, it could have baked properly. It wouldn't have that gooey center. It would have been like, actually, it probably would have been an amazing Pokemon game if they just left it delayed it. And I know they won't delay it because Pokemon never delay games. They'll release a cartridge of an empty cartridge with no Pokemon, and it will still sell because they know people will buy it, and then add the DLC later.
So if you have to pick three starters out of any of the generations, which ones would you pick? Obviously, you'll have Bulbasaur there.
Oh yeah, easy. Venusaur, Feraligatr, Blaziken.
Wow.
Because I built a team around all three of those before. Carried me before.
That is pretty cool, though. Yeah, that is nice. Feraligatr, Blaziken, and you got the fire chicken that you always tease your sister.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good, and it was good coverage for my team.
Yeah, that is.
Are you?
Me, it's kind of hard. I would go with Green Ninja. I would go with Sceptile, and I would go with Infernape.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Sceptile, but I prefer my grass to be a little bulkier.
Yeah,
Sceptile's very fast. I just didn't like that.
Yeah, as you can see, like mine are like kind of fast, right? So again, like I was in line when I like fast teleportation.
Oh yeah,
and those are my
your go-to powers.
Go-to powers, but yeah, I that would be my 3 starters if I had to select them.
Okay.
But yeah, so. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you do not miss another episode, and please leave us a comment.
Yeah, tell us in the comment below what's your favorite Pokemon, what's your favorite generation, what's your favorite games. Did you even play Pokemon? Are you still new to Pokemon in general? Have you even heard of Pokemon? Do you think Pokemon should learn from Palworld? I say they should. The Pokemon should need to evolve, pun intended, because they're a little stale right now. But let us know in the comment below what you guys think.
That's right. And always remember, geek out. So this is our style of...
This is our style, our generation of art, what you say. You know how some people have art display in their house, statues, busts. We have these toys that we like to display.